talk throughout the media, politically, socially, everything. Everybody out there already knows that we have a group of individuals that they call ICE. Okay? Right here. And their job, according to Trump and his administration, is to go after people. At least they said in the beginning that the goal was to go after people that were the criminals that were here illegally. But unfortunately, you have citizens that have, in some cases, been snatched up by ICE. In some cases, have been abused by ICE. And it's all over social media. And these individuals here are doing Donald Trump's bidding. And I'm going to come out. I was going to do it in this video, but I don't want to combine everything. I'm coming out this week, within the middle of the week. I'll be dropping a video in which I'm going to explore and assess and analyze the ICE agents and what they really are, who they really are, and what they really are. People call them the Gestapo for Donald Trump and his administration. But I'm going to call them something else when I drop that video. I'm going to show you some comparison and contrast between them and a lot of the white nationalist groups. You have your Proud Boys, your Boogaloo Boys, your Oath Keepers, all these individuals that were involved in the January 6th situation. I believe that Donald Trump has recruited these individuals into the ICE movement. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that video at such time that it's appropriate for me to drop that video after doing this video today. Because I didn't want to combine the two subject matter. It needs to have its separate subject matter. And I'm going to go deep and deep and deep and deep. And I'm going to show you some things that are going to blow you away. So let's get into this right now. So we have Renee Goods. This brother right here is Keith Porter, but I'm going to come right back to him in a moment. This is Renee Goods. People are saying rest in peace, give her justice, so on and so forth. She was 37 years old, born 1988, 2026. There was rumors that she was a part of some type of group that was following ICE. That has turned out not to necessarily be the complete truth. But we're going to go deeper and deeper into that today. Now, this brother right here is Keith Powell. How many of you have heard of Keith Powell? This man on New Year's Day had his life taken away by the ICE. This man right here. And what happened, and we know these things happen, is that he was celebrating the holidays, meaning he was celebrating the fact that we were going into a new year, right? And so as a result, people do this often. I don't recommend it, folks. He took his firearm out and he was, you know how people pop the firearms up in the air, and he was celebrating. Now this goes on all across the country. Definitely goes on in California, where people will pop their weapons in the air. You've heard it certainly when you've been home on the holidays. I don't endorse it. I don't recommend it. But as a result, this man had his life taken away from an off-duty ICE agent. Now, ICE agents, technically, their job under the federal government is to guard the border, to go after people that are here illegally. So you can make an argument that that ICE agent that use his firearm to delete this brother, to take this brother's life, was way out of his jurisdiction.
Tell the truth.
And I'm going to show you some things today. So this brother, unfortunately, lost his life due to an ICE agent. This case, an off-duty ICE agent. And then, of course, as I said before, they're saying justice for Renee Good, murdered by ICE. Now, murder is a legal term. Keep that in mind. Now, the contrast and difference between the two is that this brother right here is not getting the attention by the media. I think this is really being reported locally in California, within the Los Angeles area, in California in general. It might have made the waves in some of the news rags and what have you, but it's not really getting the type of attention obviously that Renee Good is getting. She's getting a lot of the attention. Now, some people out there would say, is it because she's white? Is it the white privilege? What have you? You can make the assessments, but we know when black people lose their life, nobody really cares. It doesn't matter the circumstances, how we lose our life. Nobody really cares about what happens to us. The media doesn't amplify it. It's usually local community people that'll amplify it. Then, of course, you'll get your usual black bourgeoisies that will jump on it to prop themselves up like an Al Sharpton and such of that nature. But this man lost his life as well, and nobody has spoken upon anything. Now, when you talk about Renee Good, people are classifying her, or Donald Trump and his cronies, his racist administration, have been defining her as some sort of radical activist. But this was on video, and I'm going to show you something right here. She said to the officers before this whole thing took place, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." Before she was taken out of here, deleted by this ICE agent. I don't even know if you can even dignify the man. There he is right there. This is a dude that took her life. He fired 3 times and then had the nerve to walk over towards her vehicle. This vehicle right here that became bloody. Look at, that's the inside of the vehicle, what he did right there. Now, I thought the goal of, well, we know as black people that law enforcement doesn't work in our favor, even when we're told to follow the rules, right? We're told time and time again by people, if you just follow what the officers tell you, nothing will happen to you. You'll be fine. There have been situations where we have talked to officers and we still lose our life when we're unarmed. So anybody out there that says, well, that dude, Keith Porter, that dude was armed. No, he was armed, but he was armed because he was celebrating the New Year's, popping his weapon. But we know for a fact, meaning he fired off his weapon in the air. I wouldn't recommend it, but we know for a fact that there have been black men all across this country and black women that have lost their life unarmed when encountering law enforcement. Because I know people are going to say, well, you know, the reason why this happened to him is that he had a weapon in his hands and, you know, the ICE agent off duty, which was not their jurisdiction. See, the ICE agent, you know what the ICE agent was supposed to do? The ICE agent was supposed to call the police who have the jurisdiction. If there was something wrong, they couldn't handle it. But we know it doesn't matter when you are a black person in America. This is a difference between us and the young lady who lost her life, unfortunately lost her life. This is the difference between black Americans, black people, than other people, which is we don't have to be armed. We don't have to even be in our vehicles to be accused of using our vehicles to run over a law enforcement officer, or like in this case, an ICE agent, as this young lady was accused. We don't have to do any of that. All we have to do is be black, wake up, go outside the door. We're already target number 1. You understand what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
We already target number 1. I want to thank you all for coming over. I see we got some great folks out there. Missy. Oh, I see you, sister. Thank you for coming over, sister. I see you. I see you in the chat room there saying hello. Thank you for coming over. Everybody for coming over. If ICE is the problem, they should be covering this too. Proves it's political. Yeah, it is. It is political what's happening, but nobody is covering Keith Porter. I'm going to put him up here right now. And I don't want any of you to leave this stream today because I have video clips. I have video clips of the family having a midnight visual for this young brother. I've got pictures of the mother who definitely is upset. They're calling for justice. This man was taken out of here on New Year's Eve, way before what happened to this young lady right here, Renee Good. Now, this is not to minimize what happened to her. I'm just saying that there is a double standard because nobody was talking. There was no buzz around this young man having his life taken away from him. And it should have never happened. Let me read this right here. Modern de-escalation training says, this is their own training from ICE. Do not stand in front of a moving vehicle. That's in their policies, ICE policies, y'all. And I'm going to bring up their policies today even further. Do not create your own lethal threat. We know that when it comes to a car, everybody, a car goes forward, a car goes backwards. Common sense would tell you, don't stand in front of a car, don't stand behind a car. And then another thing, because I know people in law enforcement, your job is not to escalate the situation. Why didn't he shoot at the tires of the car? Why pop 3 rounds into the windshield? Now, when you pop 3 rounds into the windshield, the person is not alive. They can't control the vehicle. And now guess what happens? You just have put the community in a threatening situation. You have put the community in jeopardy. That's a policy, everybody. That's a policy. You put the community at risk because now that vehicle can run over an innocent bystander. And in the case of what happened to her, we saw the video crash into a car. What if that car had exploded with her in it, of course, and also exploded other cars, hit innocent bystander? What if a child had come out of the house with their parent and they didn't know what was going on? That's why he was reckless. For all of you incapoots out there, all of you idiots out there on social media saying that she deserved what she got, he had every right to pop that weapon. He also put the community at risk by doing that because if a person ain't alive, they can't control the vehicle. At least if he would have shot her tires, 1, she would have been alive, and 2, she wouldn't be able to control the vehicle, wouldn't be able to move anywhere because her tires would be flat. That's what nobody's talking about. And nobody's talking about the fact that this ICE agent went against his own company policy. It goes against their policy. Look at this picture right here. Do you see on that picture? And I'll enlarge it. You see on that picture right there that he was still popping his weapon when she was already long gone. But at that point, he had already took her life and she crashed. The police officer the ICE agent in Los Angeles, his responsibility was to call it in to the cops if he thought that Keith Porter was a threat to the community, not to take his weapon out and do some kind of harm to this man. I want to thank you all for being here. The Wife School podcast, thank you for being here. Alicia, one of my mods, for being here. Baba Rashawn, what's going on, Baba Rashawn, to you? I appreciate y'all so much coming over. Who else we have here? The Brooks 3030. I hate the fact that YouTube puts numbers on y'all names because it makes it hard to sometimes make out who people are. Jay, the Informant. Appreciate y'all coming in. Peggy Roster's coming in. Miss Independent. My man, 1971. See, they didn't change your name, man. YouTube messing around with people's call names. But let's stay focused here. I got so much to show you. So this whole thing is crazy. And then this man walked away like this. I'm just showing you the still footage, but I'm going to show you some real deep footage of this. Real deep footage that shows you a little bit more. I know people have been watching this, but I'm going to show you some footage. There he is walking away, this crazy man right here. He didn't have to fire 3 times in the car. Another thing to the naysayers out there who say, well, if you say that he should shoot the tire, that would also put the community at danger if she loses control of the car. True. Check this out, everybody. You know another thing that this so-called ICE agent could have done? They had her license plate. They could have took her license plate down. If they thought she had violated the law in any kind of way, they could have went to her house. She lived in that neighborhood. Everybody kept saying that she was there to follow them and agitate them. They came to her neighborhood. Come to find out, she lived in the neighborhood. Okay? Come to find out, she was going to pick up her child. Then her girlfriend comes out and starts talking to the ICE agents, and all hell breaks loose. But the reason why she was there in the first place, because that was her neighborhood. So all the idiots out there who kept saying, well, what was she doing in the middle of what was ICE doing in the middle of the street on a snowy day or after snow? She was in that neighborhood because that's where she lived. You could hear one of the women saying, you just took out my neighbor. She lived there. So she had every business to be there. They were the ones that were there. She was trying to go about her business. They were trying to stop her. And then they gave her, I got to keep it real, everybody, confusing information. Because on the one hand, and you can hear it in the video, you had one ICE officer telling Renee Good to stop. Then you had another ICE officer telling her to go. So you already put out confusing directives.
Tell the truth.
I just want that to marinate with everybody right now. Let me get to something I want to show y'all. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to talk about Keith Porter in just a moment. I'm just putting it all together here. So let me put this right here for you. And let me do this. Here we go. So this was on Twitter or X, whatever we have. Renee Good's ex-husband told reporters this morning that 1, Renee was not an activist. 2, she was in the vicinity because she had just dropped off her, okay, I had it wrong. She was just dropping off her 6-year-old off at school. But in the area that she was in, her neighbor came out and said, that's my neighbor. She lived in the neighborhood. So she had every business to be there to drop off her 6-year-old at school. 3, she was devoted Christian and stayed at home mom and what have you. We've heard that sort of stuff, right? So that was sort of the stuff, that was sort of what was put out there on some of the social media, some of the things that people had to say about this situation. Let's go over here to video and let y'all see this video right here, which has been all over the news, all over the place right here. Let's go. You see that? Oh my fucking God. So as you can hear, he fired 3 times, everybody. That's pretty damn obvious. Let's play that back just a little bit. And here we go. Okay, stop it right there. How many of you heard the ICE agent say to her, get out of the car? And then he thought that he could just grab her car door because they probably wanted to drag her out to the ground, right? But there was an agent who also told her to leave. So she got conflicting information. Let's continue here. No! Oh, right there. Right there, he's pulling out his weapon. When he pulled out his weapon, you could see that he had time and more than enough time to get himself out the way. There's another point I'm going to bring up about this what's his name? Ross is his name. Josh Ross. Jonathan Ross. Jonathan Ross. Tell me if I'm correct or wrong, everybody in the chat room. This agent's name is Jonathan Ross. That was put out there by the media that this individual is Jonathan Ross, who, by the way, he's out there picking up people that they deem are illegal. And come to find out, put sevens or ones, if I got that name right, comes to find out, everybody, that this dude is married or either married. Yeah, he has an immigrant wife. Ain't that something?
Tell the truth.
Has an immigrant right. Jonathan Ross. Let's go back to this right now. So here we go. Shame. Wow, he keeps popping. Shame. And then he pops again. And at that point, if you take your firearm and you start popping out the bullets on a person, you've put the community in danger because they can't control the vehicle at that point. Let's see.
Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? What the fuck? You just fucking, what the fuck did you do?
Mm-hmm.
You are fucking criminals! You're fucking criminals! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You are fucking insane! What did you do? You!
Okay, I want to stop it right there. You see the car has crashed. I'm pretty sure you all have seen this footage, but I'm just breaking it down. It's the Information Man Show. The car has crashed. He goes over to the car and then walks away. You're going to hear him say, somebody call 911, right? But her body sat out there all day. They literally did not allow the ambulance to come into this area. So they literally were carrying her body out the car. And then they did some CPR on her, but it was too late. There was even a doctor that they refused to allow him to check her pulse. I'm going to play that for you. There is a footage of the video that I have, but I'm not going to show you all, where you can see her body hanging out of the car, literally. I had to edit this video because I'm sure YouTube would ding me big time if I was to show such footage without having it, blocked out. And out of respect for this situation, I'm not going to show that type part of the footage. So I kind of edit that part out because there's a part where you can clearly see her in the vehicle hanging off her seat. You can see her feet, her shoes. You can see her in the car, and she is been deleted by this dude right here, this Jonathan Ross.
Shame! 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 Shame!
I agree that it is a shame because he did not have to use a firearm on this woman. He could have let the woman just drive off. He could have shot at the tires, or he could have just made sure that they took down her license plate, and then they could have paid her a visit at her home.
Tell the truth.
What do you all think? I'm going to look at your thoughts.
Shame!
Yes, shame.
Shame! Shame! Dude, what's happening to her? What happened?
So down there walking over towards the vehicle. I had to edit this part so y'all couldn't see the blood, but I had to stop it right there because on the footage, if I would have let it run further, if I hadn't edited it, you would see her body hanging out. And I'm sure you all have seen this on your own, but I just, for the purpose of how YouTube works, I could not show that part. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you another clip from that actual video. And here we go like so. Here's another portion of that video, and here we go. I'm going to stop it right there. Boom. This is the portion I want to show. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Dude, you shot her. I'm trying to help. No.
So this part of the video is where she says, dude, you shot her, you deleted her. And that's the part where I had to edit out when they showed the body. And let's go into the closer picture of this right now. Here we go.
You fucking shot someone in the fucking face! You shot someone in the fucking face! Do you have a conscience?
It's crazy, everybody.
Conscience!
No, they don't. They don't. But see,
Don't let the murderer leave!
this is the thing. Let me just say this right now, everybody. Black people, we have known this as a reality in America for a long time. Black people have hit the pavement. We have marched. Black people have warned this country. We've been the moral country of conscience of America. Black people warned people that these police, we have told white folks, we told every race of people in this country that this law enforcement in America is a white supremacist law enforcement. Remember 2006, look it up, okay? Look it up. The FBI said themselves that all forms of law enforcement have been infiltrated by white nationalist groups. What are these groups? The Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys, the Oath Keeper. I told y'all I'm going to be doing a video focused on what ICE really is. They said that these groups have infiltrated law enforcement, the military, what have you. Black folks have been telling y'all for a long time. Everybody's comparing this to George Floyd. This is no comparison to George Floyd in no shape or fashion. We have been warning y'all about these cops, about these rogue individuals. And now white folks are out there protesting about what happened to Mrs. Good. They're outraged, but that's the outrage that they should have been listening to when it came to our outrage, because we warned them. We sound the alarm a long time ago. They're just getting a small taste of what black people have been experiencing in this country for decades. And let me tell everybody out there, I don't care if you're FBA, you identify as foundational American, foundational Black American, ADOS, what have you. Whenever white folks start to go after other white folks, all bets are off. We already know as black people, they've been messing with us. So it ain't gonna be a surprise that somebody like Keith Porter, who I'm gonna get to in a moment, is nobody's talking about what an ICE agent did to him off duty. That's not a surprise to us. That comes with part of the course of PAR. We get that. But let this be a warning. These ICE agents, these white folks, they're turning on their own. And if you remember what Neely Fuller Jr. told us, you see, white supremacy will use its own for a sacrifice. White supremacy doesn't have a problem with sacrificing its own if it gets to the means that it wants. Because the orange man in the White House is their number one grand wizard, Donald Trump. And I feel sorry for you if you voted for him. Yeah, Kamala Harris wasn't the best candidate. Yes, the Democrats haven't done a damn thing for black folks who vote for them stock, lock, and barrel. But the Republicans haven't done anything for us since they've been in office under Trump either. We got, 3,000, 5,000 black women that were booted out of federal jobs because of this man right here. This man is going after black history. He was trying to go after the Black History Museum in D.C. This man is going after things that protect us in the civil rights laws. As I speak, Donald Grand Wizard Trump himself, the orange man who wears makeup, who is becoming demented, they're doing this in his behalf. They're trying to make America white again. Didn't I? I've been saying this on these YouTube streets for a long time. You had J.D. Vance himself at the Turning Point convention saying out of his own mouth, we can now be happy to be white again. It's crazy.
Don't let the murderer leave! You guys are the fucking criminals. You don't get to tell us what to do. Fucking criminals. Don't let him leave! Don't let him leave!
So he's leaving. You guys have seen these videos. He leaves.
Pussy motherfuckers, man.
That's
Out of our neighborhood!
you could tell that's a black man right now. He said, pussy motherfucker. He got that bass in his voice. That brother came out of nowhere and was like, you pussy, you kitty cat mother. Oh God. This is really terrible. But see, this is what white folks have to understand as they are very upset, and everybody's very upset about what happened to the young lady. Black folks have been going through this for years, y'all. Y'all just getting a little taste. The police have been doing this to us for years. And the police take us out, whether we armed, have a car, anything. You can just walk out and go to the store for Skittles or a snack or a drink like Trayvon Martin, and you can have some fool playing cop following you. And then you can go to the law. Everyone tells black people to calm down and let the law take care of it. And then when we let the law take care of it, we don't get no damn justice. So what you have here is that you have white folks in this neighborhood who are sick and tired of what they're seeing with ICE, and they're going off, they're angry, they're mad. That's what black folks have been going through in our communities for years when the police do us harm. We get out there and we're screaming, we're yelling, we're emotionally upset. And when and this is another thing I want everybody to understand here. Let me put this back up here. Put myself back up here up front. I want y'all to understand something else. Have you, and now if I'm correct about this, I want you to hit 7s in the chat room as you listen to what I'm about to say. Hear me out. When police or law enforcement of any kind takes our life, takes the life of our children, our women, our men, our family members, and black people show raw emotions, we scream, we cuss, we yell, we say we want justice. We say we want to burn some shit up. Guess what happens, everybody? Here comes a preacher. Ow, slick back sharpening. Here comes some reverend, some preacher, some black man that's a lawyer that's going to take over, that's going to represent the family, right? Like a crump. And hear me out, everybody. And then when the media, when everybody sees our outrage as a people, what's the first thing they say on the news? What's the first thing that black people say in a community, the clergymen, the leaders, or whatever? We want y'all to calm down. Please, black people, calm down. Go home. Let the law take care of it. Please calm down. Don't do anything violent. Please calm down. Believe in the justice system. Oh, please calm down. Let me amplify my mic here. Let me amplify something. The mega mic. What do people always say? Let me put this on. I'm going to put this on, everybody, because I want to amplify what I'm saying to you. Hang on. Everybody, there we go. That's what I'm trying to get at. They tell black people to calm down, go home, let the justice take care of it. Don't be violent. Don't do anything. But you noticed when when white people are out there angry about what happened to Renee Good, you haven't seen one person in the news, in the community, tell white people and people in Minneapolis, Minnesota, to calm down. Nobody's telling them to go home. Have you seen a white preacher or a clergyman, a priest, or any type of religious figure from their community that have come out and told them, we want you to be calm, relax, take a breath. Don't go out there cussing at the officers. Don't go out there screaming and yelling at the officers. Tell me I'm not lying, everybody. Put sevens in the chat room. Y'all know I'm telling the truth and I'm preaching here. Whenever black people show our outrage, everybody's telling us to be calm, relax. Even our own kind are telling us. But you don't see anybody. You don't see anybody in their community that's literally telling them that they need to be calm. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Do you see anybody telling white folks in Minnesota or Minneapolis to let the law take care of it? No. What are they saying in Indianapolis? They're saying they don't trust the FBI. They don't trust the alphabet boys. Haven't black people said that we don't trust the FBI for years because the FBI was responsible for taking out all of our black power organizations like the Black Panthers, Malcolm X? They were involved in what happened to Dr. King. Black people have been saying for years, we don't trust the FBI. But all of a sudden now, when this happened, they're saying they don't trust nothing. You got the mayor of this community that's on code with his people saying, we don't trust anything that's coming out of this White House. Check this out. But they would tell black people to shut our mouths. Check this out right here. Check it out.
Spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
Have I made my case? I don't think anybody's broke it down like that. Nobody's telling white folks in this community that resonate with Renee. I'm not saying that there's not other ethnic groups that are unhappy about what happened to her, but I'm particularly talking about the white community because this was done in a white community. This wasn't an area that had a hot bash of black folks or other. This was an area where you saw a lot of white folks come out who were very angry about what ICE did to Renee Good, and they were wrong for what they did to her. But nobody's telling them, hey, you shouldn't say you don't trust the FBI to investigate this. Nobody's telling the mayor. I mean, you've got people in the Trump administration that's saying that the mayor shouldn't have said that. But overall, he's speaking his mind. But we can't speak our mind about things. You see, that's the difference. And I'm going to say it again. You don't see one white clergyman getting on television and telling these people to calm down. If anything, you have white clergymen telling you about their racism. Let me pull something up for you guys real quick that I forgot to put in my system, but I'm going to pull it down now if I can. Give me 1 minute to pull this. Did I even download this video? And if I didn't, God, I made a big mistake not downloading this clip. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me play this for you. This is what the white clergymen are saying in Minneapolis. They say they're not going to take it. They're not scared. Watch this.
that I am not afraid. The next thing I knew, they were putting handcuffs on me and they put me in the back of an SUV. They came back 3 times and they asked me if I was afraid yet. To which I replied, hell no, I'm not afraid of you. And I'm never going to be afraid.
This is what I'm talking about. Nobody's telling them to calm down their emotions. This clergyman, white guy, says, hell no, I'm not scared. Hell no, I'm not calming down. Okay. All right. There's the difference.
Of you. The 3rd time when they came back, they asked for my identification. They asked for my cell phone. I asked them if I was under arrest. They didn't answer. And then they said to me, well, you're white. You won't be any fun anyway. You can get out of the car. I was astounded to experience and see such blatant racism and the effects that this is having on our...
Can nobody tell me that ICE is not operating in racism as well? And yeah, they're going after people who are from across the border, South America, Mexico. And I know black people have been saying, this is not our business. We got nothing to do with it. We're citizens, blah, blah, blah. I totally get that. But you cannot underestimate the fact that you do have a lot of racists working in this ICE. And here you have a white man in that community who said he ain't taking nothing off of them. You didn't hear him on that. This guy, I listened to the rest of this video with this guy, this clergyman. He never said, I want my people to be quiet and be docile. No, he wants to be rebel. But the thing that was interesting is that they told him, you can go because you're a white guy and you're not going to be fun enough for us to mess with. You see how sick this Donald Trump regime is, this Donald Trump Estapo army is? And some of y'all voted for this crap, or you voted for that man because you thought, oh, he going to make our life better. Our economy is getting worse and all he's doing is working for the rich and the billionaires. He's got us in wars. This man is threatening to go into Cuba. He threatened to go into Iran. He said he was not going to be a war president. He's trying to go into every goddamn place in the world. He wants Greenland. And now he's setting up here. He said, we're going to get all this money from Venezuela. And they're saying right now that they're telling Americans, did y'all know that Donald Trump told Americans to get out of Venezuela because there's thugs down there that are attacking Americans. And these oil companies are scared to go down there because they don't have the security. That's y'all white supremacist president. That's his policies. This is crazy. Let's go back to this for one couple more seconds here.
Yeah, it's a fucking crime. We fucking know it. We're here.
Do you see the outrage? They're expressing themselves. These are white folks in this community that are calling them murderers. And ain't nobody telling them they need to be calm. But they'll tell us we need to be calm. See?
Yeah, like what the absolute fuck, man? What the absolute fuck?
And guess what? They have every right to be outraged and to cuss and to be how they are and their response to this situation. Let me play this video for you that's going to make a lot of sense. It's going to give you a nice little breakdown here. Check this out.
Can I go check a pulse?
No, back up now.
I'm a physician.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You caught butter in the fucking face.
So therefore, you see that that's the lady's neighbor. She lived in the neighborhood. She belonged there. They would not let the doctor give treatment. I'm going to play this again. This man says he's a physician. They would not let him go in, check her pulse as he asked if he could. They said that they had their own medics, but the medics didn't get there in time for her. They literally had to pick up her body, as you've seen on video, and bring it down the street because the ambulance couldn't get in there physically with their vehicles because they had the street blocked off in a neighborhood that Renee Good lived in.
Can I go check a pulse?
No, back up now.
I'm a physician.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us
He said, I don't care. One of these ICE agents said they don't care.
a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You caught butter in the fucking face. You killed my fucking neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the fuck do you do that?
There
Tell
it
the
is.
truth.
Tell the truth. Now, let me show you something else, everybody. I appreciate everybody that's here. I agree. Gold, old reliables in the house. All of you that are here, thank you, Afro Punk Chick. We got my man, guy from Texas is in the house. We've got, darling, we got Warren in the house. You know, YouTube has really changed everybody's names. Let me see. Seeing Jonathan Ross walking around after her shot or deleted Mrs. Renee Nicole Good contradicted the state of norm regarding the Jonathan Ross being injured. Yeah, he wasn't injured, but I'm going to bring up something else about Ross that I don't think anybody is also looking at. Let me just bring it up right now. Let me go over here and bring this up about this man right here. If Jonathan Ross, they kept saying the DOJ or the Homeland Security, Christina Nolan, I can't stand her. They kept saying that this man had been hit or dragged by a car. So they're using that as the excuse for him doing what he did because he had already been hit or dragged by a vehicle. You know what's dangerous about that? Working in mental health, that means that he's suffering from PTSD, which means if a guy is struggling after being dragged by a car and you go and get evaluated by a psychiatrist, he's not fit to work. Do y'all hear what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
He was never fit to be out there doing the job because he had what we call post-traumatic syndrome. And if he had post-traumatic syndrome from being dragged from a car before, that means he would be that much triggered to do exactly what he did in Minneapolis this past week.
Tell the truth.
If you agree with me, put sevens. These are just another example of why what he did was wrong. One, the ICE agency was wrong for letting him be out there like that under the fact that he had just not too long ago got ran over or got dragged by a vehicle, which means they didn't do a proper evaluation of whether he should have been back in the field. They should have given him time off. He should have never been out there in the first place because he should have been at home having time off. And y'all know I'm telling the damn truth. He should have never been out there in the first place. Let me show you something real quick. Okay, let's read this about this guy right here. This is Jonathan Ross. Exclusive. This is from Daily Mail. Gun-toting Fed in ski mask swarmed the ICE agent shooter home to retrieve belongings. So they went to, because they already put out on the internet where he lived at. So they swarmed his home to get his belongings, to retrieve his belongings as the house sets empty amid the claims he was gone into hiding. He's gone into hiding, according to Daily Mail. Ross has lived on the outskirts of Minneapolis since 2015 and served as an immigration officer since at least 2013 and got an immigrant wife to boot. Ain't that something? Though neighbors told the Daily Mail that Ross is a hardcore mega supporter of who? The Grand Wizard himself, Trump. social media posts reveal he also has a foreign-born in-law, which is his wife. Ross married whose doctor parents came from the Philippines in August 2012, according to the post on her Instagram page. I'm pretty sure she shut her page down. A neighbor told the Daily Mail she spotted Ross with wife pacing around the couple's driveway on Wednesday afternoon, hours after her husband opened fire on Good. Since then, the house has been empty amid the suggestion that the couple and their kids have gone into hiding. Probably true.
Thank you.
Tell the truth.
Probably true. There are not any fresh activities coming after Daily Mail revealed that Ross is a enforcement and removal operating agent, an Iraq veteran married to a Filipino immigrant. Here he is getting rid of people. Because, you know, ICE agents are even getting rid of people who are going to court because they have a date to settle their immigration issue. So they're going to these courts and just snatching people up who actually have a date to get their paperwork right. But he's married to a woman. Matter of fact, your grand wizard Trump in the White House has been married to several illegal immigrants. Even Ivanka Trump, the woman, and he's the first lady of the White House, she came over here illegally. Everybody in his family is an anchor baby. Even Trump's father, let me bust it out for y'all. Even Trump's father, even this man's father, even Trump's father got over here illegally. His whole family ain't nothing but illegal immigrants because they came over here illegally. Isn't it ironic why he talks about illegal immigrants? His whole family has a legacy of being illegals, and the women that he has married and laid down with.
Tell the truth.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Let me get back into these videos. Let me know how you feel about what I'm telling you. Let me show you something that's very disturbing here. And check this out. And I want to say shout out to Status Coup. This is their video. Shout out to them. Fair use, fair use. Status Coup. I like Status Coup. Now watch what's going to happen to this brother on this video. I want y'all to see this. There's a black man out here. And they're spraying everybody. This is after they took the life of Good. And I'm getting ready to get to Chief Porter in just a moment. Don't worry.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Hey, keep that going.
That's the brother right there. Look, watch what's going to happen. So listen, here he is right here. He's going to get maced, y'all. He's going to experience something that I don't think no black man should be out there in all this mess. But he's going to get sprayed just like that. You see that right there, right? There he is right there. And then boom, and boom. And here it is. Here it is in living color. Boom. He wanted to look at that. That's what's happening out here. That's what's happening, y'all. This sort of stuff is happening. Now, let me get over to here and let you, let me see something right here. The orange man himself said this. I have just viewed the clips of the event which took place in Minneapolis. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violating and willfully and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seemed to have shot her in self-defense based on attached clip. This is a fool right here, Donald Trump. This is a fool. Because let me show y'all something. Let's go over here and get it. Right here. Homeland Security warning shots and disabling fire. Exception in the limit circumstances described in section VB, exception DHS are prohibited from discharging firearms solely. So he had no business discharging his firearm as a warning signal, warning shots, or to disable a moving vehicle, vessel, aircraft, or other, right? Now, when you say disabling a vehicle, that goes back to what I said earlier. He should have probably shot at the tires, not shot at her specifically, like he did in the window, hitting her in the head. Moving vehicles and vessel aircrafts, DSH Leo, are prohibited from discharging. Listen to this. This is number 2. This is Homeland Security. This is their rules that he didn't follow the policies. Prohibited from discharging a firearm at the operator of a moving vehicle. She was driving a moving vehicle. So he wasn't supposed to take his firearm, pop into her window 3 times, taking her life. If anything, he was supposed to get out of the way, maybe even shot at the tires. Let's continue here. Operating of a moving vehicle, vessel, aircraft, or other type of vehicles, unless the user is deadly force against the operator is justified under the standards. All right. So did he get it? Was he in front of her where she literally was running him completely over like a pancake? No. He had plenty of time to get out of the way. Matter of fact, you had ICE agents telling her to leave before using deadly force under these circumstances. Deadly force shall not be used solely to prevent the escape or flee of a subject. So if she's fleeing, he had no business using his weapon in this way. Exceptions were otherwise required by inspectors. Now, let me put this up here to you as well. U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement policy strictly limits shooting at moving vehicles, generally prohibiting the practice unless there is an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury. Okay, let's go over here. Imminent danger, prohibiting or fleeing suspect. Deadly force cannot be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect. Vehicles as a deadly weapon. Shooting is at moving vehicles is prohibited unless the vehicle is being used in other side offense manner to strike people or other vehicles. Moving out the path clause. They got a clause about moving out the path. The policy consists with Border Department of Justice guidance, direct officers to use other reasonable means of defense, which is explicitly included in moving out of the path of an oncoming vehicle. Disabling the vehicle, like I said, firearms may not be discharged solely for the purpose of disabling a moving vehicle. The officer may only use deadly force, including shooting a vehicle, when they have reasonable belief that the subject, such as the force, possession, imminent threat. Okay. Another thing I want to put up here for y'all before I get to Keith Porter, who should have never had his life taken away too. The restriction of shooting a moving vehicle are based on safety considerations as practice and considerable high risk, hitting and moving target difficulty, right? Stray bullets pose a significant danger to bystanders. So he put the bystanders of that community at risk doing what he did. If the driver is hit, they may lose control of the vehicle, which then becomes a unguarded hazard. Well, she hit a car. The car was moving. It smashed into another car. It caused a hazard because of what he did. Nobody can tell me different from this. Now, let's talk about this young man right here. Keith Porter. Northridge man killed by ICE agent on New Year's Eve was an active shooter, officials say, as the family claims he was celebrating. This is what the family said, but they're trying to say something else. Let's come over here. I'm going to show you the video. I want to show you this video of the family member talking about what they did. Check this out.
Developing tonight, we're hearing from the family of a man who authorities say was firing gunshots in celebration of the new year when he was shot and killed by an off-duty ICE agent. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon joining us live from Universal City, where the family's attorney is calling for an investigation. Rachel?
Yeah, thorough investigation, according to the attorney and the family. Of course, that means to them, police interview everyone in the area that night on New Year's Eve to see if, in fact, Keith Porter shot towards that off-duty officer. But according to the family attorney I talked to earlier today, he says as of now, he sees no evidence that Porter himself was a threat that night.
His heart. Oh my God, he just loves so deeply.
Just days into the new year, the mother of 43-year-old Keith Porter is still filled with grief and disbelief. According to law enforcement, her son Keith fired celebratory gunshots into the air with an AR-15 style rifle outside his apartment complex on New Year's Eve.
Armed with an AR-15 rifle, possibly suffering from a gunshot wound.
An LAPD report states the off-duty federal officer confronted Porter, identified himself as law enforcement, and claims Porter fired toward him, prompted the officer to return fire.
What should have been a simple arrest and possible a citation has turned into a death sentence.
The family's attorney says this all could have been avoided.
But instead of staying in his apartment for a trained law enforcement officer from LAPD to respond, he made the premeditated and calculated decision to grab a firearm.
Fox 11 reached out to the Department of Homeland Security. In a statement, the department said the off-duty ICE officer bravely responded to an active shooter situation at his apartment complex. In order to protect his life and that of others, he was forced to defensively use his weapon. DHS goes on to say their officer immediately called police.
According to his version, Keith shot 3 shots towards him. We have questions on if there was any shell casing recovered from Keith's weapon that would indicate he in fact fired the weapon 3 times.
Keith's family.
Keep this in mind. We're talking about Los Angeles, California. We're talking about the Los Angeles, California area, the Southern California, and black people do not have good relations with those police departments in Southern California. We always end up on the bad side of the situation when we're dealing with the LAPD, the LA sheriffs, whatever police enforcement in the state of California. We tend to end up on the bad side of things, even if we were innocent.
And their attorneys say they have yet to find a witness to corroborate that the father of 2 fired towards the off-duty officer. Now, DHS tells me they're referring any further questions to LAPD, which is currently investigating. We reached out to LAPD earlier today to see if they have yet to identify that off-duty ICE agent. They responded saying as of right now, they have nothing further to share on this case.
Now, I want to show you someone who is an activist who's been working closely with the family around this issue. I want to show this right here. You see, Mr. Keith Porter was a family man. He had kids that he was raising. From what I understand, I don't think he had necessarily a criminal background because, you know, they're going to try to dirty up his background, dirty up who he is, his family, and everything of that nature. But here he is with his daughters. He took care of his daughters. I'm going to play some other video that's going to tell you a little bit about the man. I got my man, the there's a brother that's the lawyer. What's that brother's name? The Defiant Lawyer on YouTube did a video about this, and he had some great things to say about the brother, his background and what have you. They did a memorial to him. Here is a memorial. They had a candlelight visual not that long ago, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. This is his mother with the brother that you're going to hear from in a moment, who is an activist. That's his mother right there, as any mother would be, losing her son in this complex right here. This is the damn shame what happened to the brother. We don't want anything to happen to people. Once again, I don't advise people to take out weapons for celebrating New Year's and popping it in the air. You know, a lot of things could happen, but that doesn't mean he should have lost his life that night, because they're saying they don't believe that he tried to harm this off-duty officer, that he was simply celebrating the new year and what have you in this particular apartment complex, I believe, that he lived. He does have a GoFundMe that I'm going to put up here in just a minute. And of course, he's got about $7,866 dollars have been raised. Miss Good, obviously, they're raising money for her. Now, the numbers might have went up for him by now, but they're raising money for her. You see the big difference there. She's getting the money. Her family's getting the money because she's getting the news publicity. Everyone's talking about her situation, but nobody's talking about Keith Porter. And that's just the truth. Let me go ahead and play the other video I want to play for you about this man. Let me play this right here for you all. This is the brother who is working with the family. Check this out.
Boom. Hey family, this is Najee Ali here. Breaking news out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. ICE is at it again. They shot and killed a woman in Minnesota. So I want everyone to get a chance. Cut the news on. This is breaking news. And this is a continuation of ICE murdering innocent American citizens. On New Year's Eve, they murdered Keith Porter Jr., young black man celebrating New Year's Eve at his home. Keith Porter Jr. was shot and killed. ICE tried to say he was an active shooter, which is a lie. The statement they put out, which I picked apart immediately, is just a continuation of the lies ICE uses. In Minnesota, they said this woman was someone who was a threat to ICE and tried to run them over. To the mayor's credit in Minnesota, he said that was BS. He called it out immediately, just as we continue to call out ICE in LA for the unjust murder of Keith Porter Jr. So this Saturday, the 10th of January, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, there's a vigil that the family is organizing on behalf of Keith. Everyone's welcome to attend. So hopefully I'll see everyone Saturday night as we continue to support to help the family. Funeral arrangements should be announced soon. We're working with the family on that as well. So shout out to Pastor Jonathan Mosley, the National Action Network, for helping assist the family. And with that family, I got to go. But
now, he said that they've already had that candlelight visual. I'm going to show you the news report on that candlelight visual. This was the flyer that they put out in the brother's behalf. Candlelight balloon release visual for Keith Porter Jr. When Carson Park, 21411, Carson, California. Where 5 p.m., 7 p.m. Saturday, January 10th. This was just yesterday. Everybody, just yesterday on Saturday. But check this out. Let me let you see the actual video that was done by the news on this case.
Off-duty ICE agent, this memorial is here for family, friends to mourn. This song, meant to uplift, only lowered the mood as this crowd grieves the death of a 43-year-old father of two.
Today
I just want to say something, everybody. You heard the brother say that it kind of lowered the people's mood. I want to say, and thank you, Miranda, for the $5 super chat. She puts, thank you, Information Man, for sharing the story about Brother Keith Porter. I didn't know about that at all. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you, my sister. Thank you for the super chat.
For the super chat. Thank you for the super chat.
Let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to put you on the board here. Let me just say this. In that he said that it lowered the mood. I don't know how any of you feel about this. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I'm being rude. Forgive me if you take it rude. But I'm sick of black folks singing. When things happen to us, we ain't got time for no singing. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear spirituals. It's something that we tend to do because we're spiritual people. But I'm sorry. When they're out here taking our lives, I don't want to hear nobody singing. That's just me. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I don't want to hear no gospel music. I don't want to hear no spirituals. I don't want to hear none of that. I want justice. I want the person to be held accountable for what they did to my family member. I don't want to hear no damn songs. That's just how I feel about it. Thank you again, Miranda, for the super chat, my sister. Thank you very much. Excuse me if y'all disagree with what I just said, but I'm sick of it. Let's go back to this now.
Keith Porter was shot and killed New Year's Eve by an off-duty ICE agent. What would you like to say to the ICE agent if you had the chance?
If I could say anything to the ICE agent, is that you're a murderer. You stole my cousin from me. You stole their father from them. You stole a black man off the planet that God ordained to live and thrive. You stole a human life and you need to pay for it.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, the off-duty ICE agent heard gunfire near his apartment and went to check it out. That's when DHS says the officer encountered Porter holding a long rifle. Advocates say Porter was observing the holiday that night with gunfire.
You don't get to just murder people because you don't like what they're doing or how they're celebrating.
But the agent allegedly ordered Porter to put down the weapon. And when he didn't comply, DHS says the off-duty officer fired his service gun. The agency claims Porter fired 3 rounds at the officer before he was killed.
This is sad. This is sad.
We've here 35 years. This is the first time that such a thing ever happened in my community.
As the LAPD investigates what led up to the shooting, the community want witnesses to come forward and the ICE agent identified, arrested, and prosecuted for killing the man they say was kind.
See? I don't.
Black Lives Matter Los Angeles organized this vigil. They are demanding accountability from District Attorney Nathan Hochman. In fact, they are having a community meeting with him on Monday in Northridge, Tim Pulliam.
What do y'all think about that? Nobody is talking about him because black people, we still, let me put you up right here. Yeah, why do you think nobody's talking about him? Because black people's lives don't matter. In this society, nobody cares about when we lose our life. Now, what happened to Miss Good was a terrible thing. But what this shows you is that even when ICE is taking the lives of people, such as Miss Good, and people are outraged about it, in which they should be, there is no outrage about what they did to Porter. Because why? Porter is seen as a criminal. Even though the president of the United States called her a terrorist, Kristi Noem of the Homeland Security called her a terrorist. Even though these things happen, nobody is still seeing black people as human. Even though Kristi Noem called Good a terrorist.
Yes. How do you respond to that? I say that he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's very clear that this individual was harassing and impeding law enforcement operations. Our officer followed his training, did exactly what he's been taught to do in that situation, and took actions to defend himself.
Okay. Let me put this back on here. Nobody is talking about him because black people are still on SM saying ICE can't harm them. Right. You're absolutely right. People keep thinking that these ICE agents don't care about putting their hands on black people. Remember I did that video about what happened in Chicago? That video didn't get a lot of views, y'all. Got about 400 and something views. Didn't get a lot of views. It's a shame that y'all that people slept on that video. When I told you that a black American man was arrested in that, when they raided that building in Chicago, and in turn to come to find out, and I said it in a damn video, that guess what happened? They found out that none of the people that were living in that building in Chicago were illegals. And that the reason why they had that raid is because the owner of the building wanted to get rid of the people for redevelopment purposes. And that the people had complained about how it was a slumlord running the building. And the owner got tired of them complaining about the building. And the owner was like, I got to get rid of these people. So the owner is the one that tipped off ICE, tipped off the feds to come there and do that. And to get those people out of that building, destroy that building. There was a video that came out about a month ago, where you had black folks standing outside that building saying, nobody here is illegal. Black folks were impacted by Donald Trump's policies and by the ICE agents, because now they can't go back and live in the building. The building is seen as unfit to live in because the people that own the building wanted those people out. And the people that lived there that were of Spanish speaking come to find out they was not illegals. It was all a psyop, y'all. That whole thing was for show, for ICE to show their strength and power. That whole thing was part of Homeland Security putting on a promo video and using those people at expense.
Here off Amestoy Avenue, close to where Keith Porter was gunned down by that off-duty ICE agent. This memorial is here for family, friends.
Now, I showed you guys that part already. Let me get to the defiant lawyer, because I got a video from a sheriff, a sister in Philadelphia, and she said, y'all don't, maybe I should I show that video first before I show the defiant? Let me show the defiant lawyer. And then y'all got to stick around for this one. There's a sister that's the head of the sheriff's department of the state of Philadelphia and the county of Philadelphia. And she said, she talked about Trump, and she said out of her own mouth, a black woman, she said, if y'all come to Philadelphia and do what y'all did in Minnesota, we will arrest you. We are planning to arrest you. And she said, as only a black person could say, y'all don't want that smoke. Y'all don't want that smoke, ICE. Defiant lawyer coming up next. I like this brother. Y'all should subscribe to his channel. He makes a lot of sense.
That narrative, the dispute fueled sustained national coverage and protests. Right? So we've heard and seen so much about Mrs. Good's death. Now, let's contrast that with how media introduced Mr. Porter's death.
Mm-hmm.
Local outlets identified Keith Porter Jr. as a 43-year-old father of two. His family described him as caring, peaceful, and community-oriented. But the first article that I read about him said that he was an active shooter. Very different way than how the media reported Miss Good. Now, Mr. Porter grew up in Compton, reportedly. His nickname was Pooter. I want to share a little bit about him on a personal level, since the media is not getting this information out.
Right.
He loved fishing. He loved to fish. Here we have him having caught what looks like a red snapper.
I like red snapper.
Okay, he loved to fish. He was a huge 49er fan, huge San Francisco 49er fan.
That's right.
He was also a proud girl dad.
Here he is right
here. 2
here.
daughters, one age 10 and the other one 20.
Right here. Boom. Let's stop it right there. 2 daughters. I've been showing that picture. Look at that, y'all. This man was a father in the lives of his, they always demonize black men not being in the lives of their children. 2 daughters, one that's 20, one that's younger, in their lives. See, the media doesn't paint our story. They create our story, but they don't really tell our story. So they're already going to demonize this man. Now, I'm going to say again, I don't recommend people necessarily, personally, I wouldn't take a firearm and pop it up in the air for 4th of July. That's just me. But I think there's something to this story, y'all. What do y'all think? Let's go.
So he was a proud girl dad. He leaves 2 grieving daughters behind.
Damn.
All right. Now, his personal story was largely overlooked by the national media.
Yeah, it is a sad story.
His humanity appeared only late.
Miss Kim and Bling, how you doing, sister?
The family was pushing the personal.
You didn't know about it, huh? Well, that's why I'm here to bring the information.
Of Mr. Porter, rather than this active shooter, right? This boogeyman, the scary black man who deserved to be killed, whereas Miss Good was unjustly killed.
Right. That's the point. When it comes to black people, we are seen, when we are taken out like this, we're seen as justly deleted. When white people lose their life, they are seen as unjustly had their life taken away. When it comes to us, everybody's got to say, well, we have to look into the background. We have to make sure that, that he had a clean, squeaky background. We don't know. I mean, he smoked a little weed, a little marijuana, what they did to Trayvon Martin. We don't know. He wears hoodies. He's got a little knitted hat on in the car right here. He looks a little thugged out. So we can't assume that he was a good guy. But Mrs. Good, she's a white woman. She's married. She was just taking her kids to school or dropping her daughter off. She was in her neighborhood. And the police had no right to take her out. And guess what? They didn't. I agree with that. But that's not often how black people are portrayed in these situations. Just got to keep it real with y'all. Let's go to the next video, y'all. Here we go.
All right. So this active shooter label that they attached to him, they repeated that in early reporting.
Mm-hmm.
And what the family says is that Mr. Porter was actually shooting in the air in celebration of the new year. And that is completely believable. Because I know here in the DFW area, there is a lot of shooting in the air around the 4th of July.
Yes,
as well as when the new year come in.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell. You can tell the difference between fireworks and gunshots. All right. So that definitely is a believable thing, that he was not shooting at anyone. He was not trying to harm anyone, not trying to kill anyone, but shooting in the air. All right. So basically the media moved on just based on this thing of being an active shooter. Like his life didn't matter because he was labeled an active shooter pretty early in the thing. Whereas Miss Good was framed as an innocent victim.
Facts.
Tell the truth.
You see the difference? They kind of just said he's an active shooter. They moved on, like he said, whereas Renee Good, there was a lot of people saying, no, she's not a terrorist. Now, she was called a terrorist, But a lot of people came to her defense and said, no way, she's not a terrorist. You had major people on major networks saying this woman wasn't a terrorist. You didn't see anybody on major TV networks coming to the defense of Keith Porter, a father. All you have is people locally supporting the brother. This hasn't made national news. This isn't, well, should I say, it's not a national outcry. There's nobody marching in the streets. There's nobody putting his name out there on the mainstream media at the national level. So it's people like the Defiant Lawyer, and I'm not trying to pop my own collar, but it's people like myself, just little old YouTubers, little old content creators that are doing the work that the media is not going to do for this brother.
Okay. Whereas Mr. Porter was framed as a threat.
Jay the Informant, what's going on, brother?
All right. And Mrs. Good had the benefit of
J-Man, what's going on?
National media picking up her story and pushing it. And that wasn't happening and has not happened by chance. That happens because there are people, whites principally, in these media news rooms and the editors and so on, who are telling the folks in front of the camera what to say.
Now, he is correct. Remember, I did videos about this. When black men and women, particularly black women, go missing, there's not a lot of media coverage or outcry to find them. When white girls, white women go missing, you'll see it all over CNN, MSNBC, 24-hour clock, around the clock news about them being missing. Remember that what's that dude that dude Laundry, whatever his name, that was involved with it with a female, a white female, and they kept talking about it about where is she at and where he was at because he had did something to her. She went missing. They never let up. I've done videos on this. When black women in particular go missing, and even black people just in general, black children, there's no outcry, and the media doesn't spend a lot of time emphasizing what happens to us. So what he's saying about the people that work in these news media rooms, that for the most part, a lot of them don't look like us, or a lot of us that's in them don't really have a lot of power to emphasize certain stories. This doesn't minimize what happened to Good at all. What happened to her should be emphasized, should be talked about. But when things happen to us, it very seldom falls into cracks. And this is what's happening to this brother.
Oftentimes writing what they should say. So they push these narratives. Mm-hmm. It's good for business. It's good for the algorithms.
Right.
All right. So the national media pretty much amplified the good regarding Miss Good's death. And as a result, people did what? They hit the streets. They protest. And it has become a national outrage. Meanwhile, crickets for Mr. Porter. Crickets. Crickets. And then there's another part to Mr.
People are out here like this.
So let's suppose he was out shooting in the
People
air.
are out there like this. Like he said, people out there in those streets. But for brother Keith Porter, not the same outrage on a national level. He's not even in the national discussion, y'all.
All right. In celebration of the new year coming in. So essentially what that means is he was a gun owner. He was exercising his Second Amendment rights to own a gun. But the problem is he's a black man with a gun.
Ooh-wee! That's the key. You see, how many of y'all know the history of California when it comes to black people owning guns? It was the Black Panther Party that went up to Sacramento, California, the capital of California. They had their weapons as a symbolic symbol. They marched on the Capitol. And at that time in California, You could open carry your weapon as long as you didn't have a bullet in the chamber while you were carrying it. And when the Black Panther Party went up to Sacramento, California back in the 60s, the police, the Capitol Police, took their guns away from them because they wanted to check and see if they had the bullet in the chamber. They were scared as hell that a black group of people that they saw were militant would march up on the Capitol. They did it for a symbolic reason because black folks were catching hell in California. And the governor at that time was another grand wizard of racism, and that was Ronald Reagan.
Tell the truth.
And white folks in California couldn't stand, and they were scared to see black folks with weapons in hand legally. So when the Black Panther Party got their guns given back to them by these Capitol Police officers of the capital of the state of California, they got in their cars and they started driving to go back to good old Oakland, the town. And those police followed them to a gas station and turned around and violated their rights again. They already violated their rights by taking the guns out of their hands, but then they gave it back. But then they violated their rights again by now arresting them. This happened in California, in the Sacramento, California area back in the 60s. And after that happened and white folks got so scared of a black man with a weapon or a black woman with a weapon legally under the law, they changed the laws in California so that you could not have open carry and you could not walk around with a weapon. It was because of the Black Panther Party. A lot of people don't even realize that or know that. And when it comes to this whole thing about gun rights, black people are the only ones that have had our weapons taken from us. No other group. And the only reason why, if you really want to be honest, why they so obsessed with these weapons is because they were afraid that during Reconstruction, when black folks came out of slavery, that we were going to pillage, rob, harm their women, and do harm to white men. So white men were very concerned about having arms. It wasn't just because they were concerned about, another foreign country is going to come in and invade. They were concerned about what black folks were going to do with them if black folks finally got their hands on weapons. Tell me I'm lying. Here we go.
And I can't run with this thing about him shooting in the air because that has not been confirmed. And even if it were, he didn't deserve to die for it. Sort of like George Floyd.
And there was no, just like George Floyd, there was no reports that Keith Porter harmed anybody that night or pointed his weapon towards anyone. And this ICE agent was not on duty, and the ICE agents don't have the jurisdiction. They're not a local police officer. They are border patrol. The job is for the street cops to take care of any sort of disturbance. He took the law into his own hands at that night in a local area, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody cares.
George Floyd was accused of trying to pass a fake $20 bill. That allegation was never proven. And even if it did not justify what we saw happen to Mr. Floyd.
Right. And you notice something else, everybody out there, think about it. Did they ever find the $20? Don't you think it's interesting that they accused George Floyd, and don't get me wrong, George Floyd had problems. He had some issues, but they accused him of using a fake $20 bill. Yet to this very day, we've never seen that $20 bill. That $20 bill was never introduced into his court trial as evidence. Where is the so-called $20 bill that nobody within the legal system or the police produced for us to see? Let's go.
So I'm not running with this shooting in the air thing until that's been confirmed. And even if it is confirmed, I'm still not running with it, because then you're saying that it was a justification for him to be shot.
Right.
Now, some news outlets have reported that he was shot because he shot at the ICE agent. Well, that too has been refuted, and it hasn't been proven.
Has not been proven.
So I'm not going to run with that neither. The state has the burden.
Has not been proven.
In situations like this, if it's a criminal offense, I think I read it's a felony to do so in California, but the state has the burden of proving that that allegation is true beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right. Right.
And until then, Mr. Porter died presumably innocent of all those allegations or any allegation. And even if they are proven subsequently, again, didn't deserve him dying.
Facts.
Leaving 2 children.
Leaving 2 children. Here we go, right here. This is the sad part about it, everybody. Everybody, this is everyone in the chat room that's been rocking with me today. I really appreciate you. Let me play another video. We're getting close to conclusion of this podcast today. I hope you've gotten something out of this. If you have, do me a great favor. I want you to do something. I want you to definitely subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching so far. Make sure you make comments on this video, honest comments, real comments, and subscribe to the channel. Those of you that are in the chat room right now, you could do me a great favor. Helps to grow the channel. Go ahead and share this video in all your social media that you have, and with your friends and people that you believe would get something out of this particular video today, everybody. Because I appreciate you. And I appreciate you coming over here like you do, giving me the support however you can. Let me play this video right here. This is a powerful clip. This sister makes really good points. So this is why I had to play. I'm going to play this, because she was so much on point. Check it out.
Why is an off-duty ICE agent responding to a situation that should have been handled by local police? And why did that decision end with a Black man being unalived? That question matters just as much as what happened next. So Keith Porter was murdered on New Year's Eve in Northridge, California by an off-duty ICE agent. And before anyone rushes to justify this, we need to slow the conversation down. So let's start with the weapon issue. Even if Keith Porter was armed, firearm possession alone in California is not automatically illegal. The law is specific. Was the weapon lawfully owned? Was it legally configured? And most importantly, was there an imminent threat? Being armed does not equal justification for lethal force. So under use of force standards, officers are required to respond to an immediate, unavoidable threat, not fear, not assumptions, not what someone thought might happen. Imminent threat is the legal threshold. So now back to the first question, why is an off-duty ICE agent acting as a first responder in a local incident?
That's true.
ICE agents are federal immigration enforcement officers. They are not local patrol. They are not dispatched to neighborhood disturbances. They are not the designated responders for suspected criminal activity in residential communities.
Is she making sense, everybody? You hear what she's saying? She's breaking it down. This woman's very intelligent. She sounds like she might be a lawyer herself or has had some type of legal training, or she's very concise and to the point about what she's saying. And it's true. I did say that they made it where you can't do open carry in California. Doesn't mean you can't have a weapon. The question is, did he have the weapon legally? Was he simply celebrating in the air with his weapon on New Year's Eve? Did he point this weapon towards this off-duty ICE agent? why did the ICE agent have to pull out their revolver and fire their firearm and take his life? Why didn't that agent go to call the proper authorities first, let them handle it, the people who have the jurisdiction, if there was something serious going on? And why hasn't anyone come out that lived in that building and said that this man was being reckless by pointing his weapon towards people that lived in the community? None of that has come out like that.
That responsibility belongs to local law enforcement. So when off-duty agents self-deploy, accountability becomes dangerously unclear. What authority were they acting under? Did they identify themselves? Were they coordinating with local police? Or was this a unilateral decision made outside a clear chain of command? That matters because jurisdiction matters.
Facts.
Scope of training matters.
Tell the truth.
Oversight matters. So from a systems and public safety perspective, this is a layered failure. A man is dead. The public barely heard about it. A federal agency is involved, and there is no publicly released video. And the narrative quickly centers justification.
So what I want y'all to do is I continue letting you hear what the sister is saying. If you heard about this incident, put 7s in the chat room. Only if you heard about this prior to me doing this video. Because a lot of people, from what I'm understanding, didn't even know about this. This went under the radar. Not a lot of press, a lot of attention brought to it. Let's continue. And thank you for the super chat, Prince. Brother Prince 722. I'm going to put your name on the board, but thank you for that super chat, brother. I appreciate that.
You are listening. Thank you for the super chat.
Instead of scrutiny and investigation. That is why so many of us never even heard of Keith Porter's name. No viral footage, off-duty involvement, federal insulation, and silence where accountability should be. Silence is not neutral. Silence protects institutions. Accountability starts when we ask the questions no one wants amplified.
Wow. Let me read some of your comments in there before we close out. I got one more video I'm gonna play you all that's gonna bring us on home. You do not want to leave this video right now because this video that I'm going to show you next is powerful. The one I was telling you about that sister out there in Philadelphia, the sheriff. She told ICE, y'all don't want this smoke. Now, my brother Prince, Antonio, he left this. He said, no problem with ICE agents is that they have a God complex and justify their actions. Right. But this is the thing, though, brother. I'm about to produce a video that I will be dropping this week. I'm going to give you the real reason why ICE has that complex. I'm going to tell you who ICE really is and what's really going on. And I'm going to show you examples of the facts of what I'm about to break down and display. Be on the lookout for that. Let me go into the chat room, read a couple of comments. We've got Patola Afro coming in the house. Good evening to all, she says. Brooks, Sister Brooks is in the house. Brooks 303030. I hate the fact that YouTube puts these numbers on y'all names and all the scrilly other stuff. And it just makes it hard to read the names. And I'm already bad at reading names as is. But she's in the house. Thank you for being here. Afro Prince. We got Afro Punk Chick who comes in. She says, I think the agents felt it was right, justified because he was firing a weapon, not violent thinking at all. Possibly if that's what happened, but we gotta see the evidence of that, you know. We got Pink Lady 2026 in the house saying yes. What are you saying yes to, sister? And thank you for coming by. Miranda, who gave me a beautiful super chat earlier, says yes, she's making 100% sense. Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Pink Lady 2026 is probably agreeing with what the sister was saying. Let's go in here. We've got Daily Warren 7643 saying, hey, what's going on, Daily Warren? Thank you. We got never too late production 503. What's going on? Love always. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Confucius 7298 says yes. So a lot of people, I guess you guys are answering the question I said originally. You guys are agreeing with what that sister is saying. My grandfather always called Sacramento Jim Crow town. Yeah, it was. There's even parks in the Sacramento area that they didn't allow black people to go to. That's why if you ever wonder whether you live in California, the East Coast, whatever part of the world you live in America, do you all remember that there were certain parks? Have you ever, when you grew up, did you ever wonder why is it that black people, there's always a lot of black people at certain parks? You go to a park and for some reason is because that's the park that they only allow black people to go to. And then those parks usually end up in the community that you grew up in. Because at one point in time, they didn't allow black people to go to certain swimming pools in quote unquote white neighborhoods. You couldn't go to certain places because of segregation, racism, the whole 9 yard. Y'all know that. Y'all already know this information. We got, we say, Prince, whoa, I never put the numbers there. Yeah, you don't put the numbers there. That's because when you have a YouTube account, that's sort of like your YouTube account, your little hashtag name. YouTube took everybody's names and they put the hashtag numbers on there. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't like it because it makes it difficult to figure out people's names sometimes. I don't like it. Yalpo's in the house. What's going on, Yalpo? I'm going to be doing a video about the ICE. That conversation that we had yesterday, I'm doing a separate video about that where I'm going to bust that information out to everybody. That'll be an uploaded video. I'm going to get right to the point with that video. That video, I'll be dropping that video within the next couple of days. You guys are definitely going to like that video. Let me see. I don't ever either information. Yeah, I don't. It's horrible. And it makes it difficult for me. Alicia's in the house. She's saying, what's Yalpo? Hey, everybody in the chat room, make sure y'all check out Yalpo's channel. Yalpo is working on some incredible things. He's working on some animations, some black animation for us. The man has a studio. He's creative. He writes books. I've been talking to him behind the scenes, and he's working on a big animation project that will be exclusively shown on here first. And I'll interview him. He's going to lay out the whole animated series live right here on the Information Man Show. You'll be watching. For those of you who enjoyed Saturday morning cartoons, Schoolhouse Rock, we got black animations that should be on Saturday morning, originally made by my man Yalpo, who's in the chat room right now. He's working hard at it as I speak. Let's get ready to get to the next video as I get ready to end this. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Everybody in the chat room, all the super chats, I appreciate it. But with the time that we have left, let me give you the video that really did something to me when I heard this sister talking. I thought she was going to do the regular police talk. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sister girl went there in this video. Check this out.
Good afternoon. I'm Rochelle Bilal, the sheriff for the city and county of Philadelphia.
Yes, yes,
Can
yes.
I say her name? Renee Good.
Mm-hmm.
Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good.
And
This
Keith
should not
Porter.
happen,
Keith
but
Porter,
we
say
need
his name too.
Let know that law enforcement professionals, real ones, not the fake made up ICE, probably Trump's new army to attack citizens of the United States.
Right.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
No law enforcement professional wears a mask. None. None. Those that come into our communities wearing a mask to commit crime, thank God for our district attorney, Larry Krasner, who said he's going to lock them up. And I'm saying now, we are not going to whisk you away for them to hide your identity, because when you do it there, you're getting arrested there. No whisk away for them to hide you. None of that here. None of that here. Law enforcement professionals do not shoot at moving vehicles. I'm not saying fleeing because she wasn't.
Check this out. You know why she said that about fleeing people away? Because when he did what he did, they fleed him away. He got in his car. I already read to you reports that said that he's hiding out with his family. He's already gone because people are looking for him to give him some smoke. So what she said was very relevant. Brother Prince, thank you again for the super chat. He says, in New Jersey, we had an unwritten code on what towns to not go through or move. That's right. You had sundowning towns, right? Let's go. This sister right here is on point.
Fleeing. She was getting out of the way. Law enforcement professionals do not stand in front of moving vehicles invoking an action that is illegal. No, we don't. And so we stand here today with all those who stand against the made-up, fake, what you can call ICE professional law enforcement. I don't call them none of that. I call them made-up, fake, wannabe law enforcement.
I love
what
it.
They do is against not only legal law, but the moral law.
Man, I gotta look into this sister. I ain't never heard no police officer talk like this about other so-called law enforcement. She giving them smoke. I mean, she saying they not real, they fake because they not following no rules. But then again, let's not get it twisted. The police in Philadelphia, they don't treat black folks too kind either. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna get too caught up and bamboozled because the sister talking a good game here. But we know that even in Philadelphia, the police in Philadelphia, in the sheriff's department in Philadelphia, they ain't got no love for us either as black folks. But what she's saying about ICE, I agree with. Now, this is what I do agree with, what she's saying about ICE. That's for damn sure.
I don't call them none of that. I call them made up, fake, wannabe law enforcement. Because what they do is against not only legal law, but the moral law.
Hey, Yalpo, let me put your statement on the board because this is a good statement here. So Yalpo said, finally, someone's talking right. Yeah, you don't normally hear. And she's like, you see them bars on her collar? She got like 1, 2, 3, 4. She got 4 bars. So she's like in charge of the sheriff's department. She says she's in charge of the sheriff's department in the state of Philadelphia in the counties. So she high ranking. You don't normally hear high ranking officers talking like this, especially black, because a lot of times when you have these black sheriffs and these black police and, officers that be in charge, they don't be talking like this. They be talking like, raccoons. Well, like what did I just say to y'all earlier in the show? Black people, to the black community, we need you to be calm down. Let the law take care of it. No unruly behavior. Don't cuss at the police. But then them white folks out there in Minnesota was cussing at the police, screaming at them, yelling, and you didn't hear nobody out there telling them white folks to calm down, to shut up and be quiet. No white clergymen came out and said, we need calm, everyone. Please, let's pray. You don't see any white clergymen out there in Minnesota telling people, let's hold hands and pray. But when black folks are mad about what happens to us, we can always find a raccoon that will come into our midst and say, everybody, let's hold hands and pray. Don't do nothing vengeful. Come on, calm down. It's going to be all right. Just go home and pray and believe in the law. And then when we believe in the law, what happens? We get no justice.
So I'm with the DA, and we will work with them. If any of them want to come in this city and commit a crime, you will not be able to hide. Nobody will wish you off. You don't want this smoke.
She said, you don't want this, man. Only a black person. Look, I'm telling you, man, nobody is like us. Nobody got our swagger. Nobody got our style, our energy, our culture, our lingo, the way we move. This sister said, if you come in this city, Philadelphia, and commit crimes, ICE, we will arrest you. You're not going to be switched away. You will be arrested. Our DA is prepared to charge you, and you don't want this smoke. I got to hear that one more time when she said that.
Legal law, but the moral law. So I'm with the DA, and we will work with them. If any of them want to come in this city and commit a crime, you will not be able to hide. Nobody will wish you off. Wow. You don't want this smoke.
Ooh.
Because we will bring it to you.
Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. God, wait. She said, wait. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just so excited. This is the best damn video I've seen a police officer of any law enforcement talking. She said, you don't want this smoke, but we'll bring you the smoke. Only a black woman could put it down like that. You know, why is it that a black woman in her position is not acting like a coward? But I can definitely remember and recall some so-called black men that were so-called sheriffs or so-called chief of police, and they sound like little peak squeaks. What's happening to our masculinity out here? When the women are talking the way we should be talking.
Any of them want to come in this city and commit a crime, you will not be able to hide. Nobody will wish you off. You don't want this smoke. Because we will bring it to you. And the fake, whatever they call them, because I can't say the name, but the criminal in the White House would not be able to keep you from going to jail.
Oh my God.
Renee Good should be here.
Wait a minute. This is a classic clip here. Damn it. Damn, I might just have to upload a separate video on this channel with just analyzing this clip again with her. How y'all feel about that? My God. Do you hear what this woman is, let me be respectful, what this chief of the sheriff's department in Philadelphia, the county in the state, black female woman, talking like this? She said to this clown, racist Klan member in the White House, Trump, I ain't never heard. Everybody thought it was a big deal when the mayor of Minneapolis said, get the F out of my town. This don't even compare to that, to what she's saying. Unbelievable.
They call them, because I can't say the name, but the criminal in the White House would not be able to keep you from going to jail.
The criminal in the
Renee Good should be here today.
And Keith Parker Keith Porter. Wait a minute. Renee Good should be here. Renee Good should be here. Keith Porter should be here as well.
Not the ones here in this city that would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the last thing that I will say.
Uh-oh, here she go.
Law enforcement professionals around the country do their job. And we have been fighting for years to build that bridge between us and our communities. You have one negative nutcase that causes this problem, and now we all have to fight again to let people know law enforcement works with communities. These crimes would not be down
that guy
if
right
we didn't
there.
have communities work with us. Thank you.
Oh my God, let's give that a clap. Ooh-wee. Boy, she came with it. I ain't never seen nobody in law enforcement that looked like us in a position of authority speak on something like this, like the way she did. And she had no problem with calling out the racist man in the White House. Y'all's president, y'all voted for him, Donald Clown Trump. Okay?
Tell the truth.
Unfreaking believable. My man Prince has sent me another super chat. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you for the super chat.
You say here, the sheriff in Philadelphia is not only bringing the smoke, she's ready to burn ICE with the fire. Hell yeah.
Tell the truth.
Yalpo says this, no way either of them should be gone. No, nobody should be gone. Exactly. Everybody. Wow. I'm very impressed with that sister. I got to find out her name. I got to do some research. Y'all should all do some research into her. Find out what she's all about down there in Philadelphia. I'd never seen her before until now, until this situation happens and she's coming out. And it's obvious to me she doesn't like what Donald Trump and his administration is doing. And she's seeing what he's done in Chicago. She's had time to sit back and see what he's done in Minneapolis, should I say? And maybe they're saying we got to prepare ourselves because he's coming to Philadelphia. ICE is coming to Philly, and she's giving them fair warning. Wow. Afro, how did you get rid of the numbers at the end of your name? You know why you got numbers on your name? You got to go to your YouTube channel. You got to go to your platform, and you got to look where it has your platform. It has your platform name, and it has the numbers in there. You go into your settings. You go into the part where it says renaming your channel. You go into that area section, and you can see where you can take the numbers out. You could do that. I guess that's the way to go. I think everybody has to do that. I think YouTube should have put out some type of video or message to tell people if you want to take the numbers and all that stuff off, this is how you go about doing it. You go into the YouTube studio, you go into the part where it says customize. You click into that. That's the area where you can change the name of your channel. And then you'll probably see your name with those numbers on it and all of that. And you could probably take all that stuff out and then save it. And then get back to your names being like they used to be, regular style. Try that, everybody. I'm going to try that too myself because I got the same crap on my name. Let me see. Somebody left me a message in here, and I want to give them acknowledgement. Oh, this is Brooks 3030 says, I agree, information man. YouTube should have, yeah. But somebody, Narratives and Dialogue said this to me. Information man, thanks for covering this. Frat 06. Oh, okay, 06 to you, brother. You have a good day, a good week. Everybody have a good week. We're getting ready to get on out of here. I've done all that I could do on this subject matter so far. Thank you, everybody. Let me also say this. I have more video footage that I wanted to show, but I'm not showing it because I need to save some of my other receipts for the video that I'm going to create for you guys, where I'm mainly focusing on ICE. What is ICE? Who are they? What type of individuals do you have working for ICE? Some of the stuff that I'm going to tell you, I had this conversation with Yalpo in the chat room. Some of the things I'm going to say are going to be very revealing and very explosive. Because these guys that are in ICE are literally Donald Trump's army. They're the same individuals that was up there during January 6th. They're the same individuals that are part of the mega movement. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper into it for y'all, show y'all some receipts, show y'all some comparisons and things of that nature. So I'm going to hold back on that video. I had a video where you have a brother that's a Somali immigrant. Well, he's a citizen, and he's being harassed by while he's sitting in his car, he's being harassed by ICE. And boy, did he bring the smoke to them. He literally had them apologizing to him. He literally humbled their asses. You'll see on that video coming soon. Video I'll be working on. I'm going to try to drop that video either. If I can't drop it Tuesday, I'm going to drop it between Wednesday and Thursday morning for y'all. That'll be a premiere video while I'm at the JOB. So make sure that y'all check that one out, because that one's going to be very revealing and controversial. Thank you, brother. Narratives and Dialogue. Check out his channel too.
Tell the truth.
Unfortunately, I got to get on out of here, everybody. Once again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the video, let people know about the channel, what we're doing over here. I appreciate you all for coming over like you have. And with that said, everybody, time to get out of here, time to go. Appreciate you. It's been wonderful. Peace.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me, give my baby problems.
Everybody have a good rest of your week. Thank you. I'll be back with some more videos.
I'll be ready for it. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you.
You've been listening to the Information Man Show.
Miss that smile, Lord knows I ain't seen that in a while, but it's your style. So something must be up keeping you down. You a queen that must be heaven sent. Pray my soul, I must repent for not telling you what I meant and how I felt. Honestly, I'm used to throwing wishes in a well. My conscience tells me that I could have helped without fail. Actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself.
BS3 Network, changing the way you listen to podcasts. BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV. You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
I'll be ready for it. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. La, 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 la. Feel it, baby, stress is all around us. These high ceilings, and I need it, baby. Pressure and make diamonds, I won't steal it, baby. Silent, baby, hurts to see you crying. Know you trying, ain't no lying, baby. When I say I need you, greedy if I have to share you. It was me that all along did you wrong, thinking that I made you beautiful and strong. This toxicity, the death of me, I fear the day you gone. The most beautiful girl I've ever known. I'll find a way to treat you better. I swear there's no one out there like you. You teach me to be better. My talk is cheap, keep asking what I do. I'll fly you to the moon and hope I'll see you soon. I'll find a way to treat you better. No problem, I'll do whatever. Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me, give my baby problems. You gon' regret everything, so I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for it. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. La 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 la.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.